one delegation, then we must lower the threshold for voting. It means, Mr. Speaker, because the requirement for a presidential election is at least 24 counties, then if for some reason one of the counties does not participate, then we should lower that threshold. Mr. Speaker, I am still, and I will still need to talk to legal counsel at some point outside this chamber to understand how legal requirements can be moving targets that we keep pushing them to up and down depending on the number of members in the chamber. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the second PO on proxy voting, again, Senator Boni Khalwale got it all wrong. The voting in the Senate is by delegates. We don't have delegations in county assemblies. So it cannot be that a member of a county assembly representing one ward can ask another member of the same county assembly representing a different ward to cast a vote on behalf of that ward. That becomes a bit complicated. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to the majority leader, I've listened to the minority leader, I've listened to submissions from colleagues, and I've heard one thread that is running across: the search for justice. The county assembly wants justice from the Senate. The governor of Nyamira wants justice from the Senate. The people of Nyamira in totality are looking up to the Senate for justice. The Speaker, as I continue to listen and be persuaded by different members on the same subjects, I want to ask all of us to ensure that we just don't dispense justice, but let in the eyes of the public be seen to have dispensed justice. The Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, at the beginning, when I listened to the PO, I saw it as a straightforward case of 35 times 2/3. That's what I saw. And I was persuaded. However, both parties have invited me to want to hear more. Both the governor and the county assembly. What do I mean, Mr. Speaker? People watching me in Nyamira now want us to respond to the concerns by the county assembly. Nowhere in the jurisprudence of this country have we ever tested the issue of who is voting at the 2/3 majority. What do I mean? You all know, in this house, we have been voting with the threshold of 24, even when our brother, the late Cheptumo, was gone. Now, what has been brought by the county assembly, they are telling us, please remember there were 3 MCAs who are not in that county assembly. This is the time for us to prosecute that, and therefore we should give parties an opportunity to prosecute that matter. We see which way it should go, so that, colleagues, we guide county assemblies, we even guide this Senate, that what shall we be doing in the event members are not in plenary. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, again, parties have invited me on the issue of voting by proxy. You all speak good English. Voting proxy simply means a member of a team, like the one in the county assembly of Nyamira, asking another member to vote for him specifically in the same manner he would have voted. Let's not be emotional. Even in this house, we normally ask the leader of the delegation to tell the appointed the delegation to vote exactly in the manner the leader of that delegation would have voted. So we need again to hear submissions from both parties so that it would help us to know in future how shall we be handling this kind of issue. My final point, Mr. Speaker, again invited by both parties, is that they talked about letters. We didn't know letters were brought. This is the time for us to allow them to prosecute the matter, to show us these letters, just in the same way we did in Kericho 2, and those ones who thought this had not taken place, they were given an opportunity. Mr. Speaker, finally, but not least, the County Assembly has come here for justice, looking for justice. So has the governor. It is therefore makes us stronger, more credible, more fatherly by hearing both. Let the PO be determined after we have heard the whole manenos, the whole issues, then we make a decision. I want to defeat in my submission the points raised by the Senator of Kericho, leader of majority. It is bigger than what you think. Kericho 1 was straightforward, Kericho 2 was straightforward. This one, both parties are not in agreement. In Kericho 1, we all remember, both parties were in agreement about the number of MCAs who had participated. For your information, leader of the majority, if you go by the presentation by the governor, it means 23.3 people voted, which we round to 24. But if you go by the persuasive argument by the County Assembly, it means in the absence of those three, only 21.3 people voted, rounding it.
This matter has been running for as long as I remember, since I became a senator in this house. Members of the County Assembly have constantly disagreed over the issues in Nyamira, and on several occasions different individuals have been blamed for the issues that have been happening and the things that have been happening in Nyamira. I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining those things. Mr. Speaker, even when that is a very complex and maybe completely political issue which needs to be sorted out, I stand and defend my positions based on the law. If the law is what we have decided to follow as a people who want good governance and administration, who want to provide services to their people, then, Mr. Speaker, we really have to agree that we are going to follow the law. My wish would have been that we listen to all the charges that have been brought, but then that means that we would have preempted the discussions about the issues of the PO and indeed the rest of this case. My suggestion would be, if members of this House feel that the threshold was not reached, then we accept that as a position. And the problem that I was unable to interrogate, Mr. Speaker, was that in Nyamira, there were 3 members of the County Assembly who were not there when these elections were taking place. Not the ones who traveled, but there are about 3, I think 2 were having by-elections the other day, and 1, I think, had passed on. And they had not been at the Assembly for close to 2 years. So what many people were asking me as I was sitting here is, the fact that these people who've been at the County Assembly have only been 23, what does it mean? My worry is, if you are going to impeach Mr. Nyaribo with 21 or 22 members of the county assembly, and this house convicts, there's a likelihood the court will actually refuse to convict. And Mr. Speaker, what I would want to encourage my colleagues here is that let us follow the law and make a decision whether that law is good or bad. My point, Mr. Speaker, is that we have set precedent, and the precedent is there on Kericho 1, there's precedent on Kericho 2, and all that precedence does exist. But I also, Mr. Speaker, wanted to mention that I was very impressed with Katwa Kigen's argument that when you have those people, if they are 21 or 22 in the county assembly, does the law actually allow them to then vote because they're the ones who are sitting there, or can they then even vote through proxy and continue making the arguments they're making? So my argument, Mr. Speaker, is that if the law, which is that the threshold should have been 24 members of the county assembly, and that threshold was not arrived at, then, Mr. Speaker, we should let the matter rest. Thank you so much.
Senator